Sink it and sink it.
Good morning, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Poor Kids with Streams. My name is Justin, and today we're going to do something different. We're going to start a new segment called 0 to 60. That's where I showcase some of the poor kids with rich dreams out here in Hawaii. And today we're going to be with Cody, one of my good friends, and his 68 Camaro.
Let's go, boys. My name's Cody Gratz, and I'm currently working on a 68 Camaro.
Where did you get this from?
When my dad bought his 70 Chevelle, he kept looking for cars. While he was looking, he found a really nice 68 Camaro, and 68 was kind of the forgotten year. Everyone really likes the 67s and the 69s, a lot more popular, but the 68 was kind of the forgotten year. It was just much more simpler than the rest, and people didn't really like it. Back in the 60s, people wanted that really muscle car flair, and he told me about it. He showed me pictures, and I instantly fell in love with the car, and I really wanted to make some of that, because you don't see many of them on the road. It's all 67s with the triangular window in the front, and 69s with the squared away fender wells. That's kind of the distinguishing factors. You don't see a lot of 68s. So my plans for the car right now, it's a really big work in progress. I'm going to try and turn it into a Yenko Camaro, which was a package kind of like a Shelby or Celine, things like that. And yeah, I plan on making it more of a show car, not really too race worthy, but at the same time, you know, I'm gonna put a bigger engine. The car, it did come with a 12-bolt rear end. The car is automatic, so I think for me it would be much more easier just as a cruise car, not really so much race, just kind of so I can keep up with all the older gents in the scene and cruise around with them, you know. The only car shows I ever go to are SEMA, whenever I get the opportunity to go, and the NHRA drag racing with my dad. We were really into drag racing, you know. Getting to see all the pro stock and the pro touring cars before the Top Fuel funny cars and the drag race, the nitromethane funny cars, I'm sorry, and the Top Fuel dragsters. We always go early to watch all the really non-sponsored people bringing their cars to the track before the legitimate races, and seeing what they have, seeing what they can do. It's always nice to see people with the older generation cars still kick ass.
Have you ever been to like Spocom or Hot Import Nights?
I've never been to either, only because, for me personally, I'm not going to disparage any type of car scene. It's not for me. Granted, there are a lot of nice vehicles there. There are a lot of nice builds, a lot of nice cars, a lot of really cute girls. But for me, working on cars and appreciating cars is more of the grind to get it going, the late nights with you know, Craftsman floodlights in your engine bay, working with your good buddies, having a drink or two. And I think it means a lot more to me to do that than to just be out there. I'm not in anything. I'm not in cars to get famous. I'm not in cars to show it off. I just want a clean running vehicle that will occasionally turn heads. I don't really like showing off or being those assholes at 3 a.m. on the H1, H2, just ripping it. You know, my car, It's a muscle car, but it's a cruise car. You know.
So what started you on muscle cars?
Well, growing up, my dad would always have memorabilia in our garage, and I'll show you in a minute. But you know, just growing up around that, it was normal for me to see a car from the 60s and 70s rather than all these crazy spaceship-looking cars. You know, I don't mean to disparage. It's just growing up. You know, me being a little kid, I didn't really know that there were different genres at the time of cars, different cliques, tuners, exotics, muscles. I just thought seeing these old cars was just the norm, and I grew to appreciate them because I'd stay up late with my dad when I was a little kid watching VHS tapes of all these really famous drag racers, and yeah, I grew up watching like Roland Leong. He was built the Hawaiian Punch car that he would drag race back in the day. Snake and Mongoose, you know, was always cool to me. And just seeing cars push it to the absolute limit was mind-blowing, with, you know, milliseconds between two racers on the drag.
Alright, so do you have any other hobbies aside from building this car out?
Well, I do like to go out and shoot. I'm a collector of vintage firearms from the First and Second World War, as well as Vietnam, Korea, and I'm also, because of that, I kind of turn into a reenactor. You know, I'll buy all these different types of uniforms, and I'll put them on for public display, and I'll educate people on what GIs used to wear back in the day in the field, how much fortunate we are now, because I myself was a prior military, how fortunate we are now to have the gear that we do, and, you know, rifles we can stand by. Not, you know, we're not in the bolt action era to where we're hunting human beings with hunting rifles, you know? And it's a fun hobby. It's a really expensive hobby. I think I do unfortunately spend a little bit more money on uniforms and guns than I do on my car, but that's all subject to change. I'm getting rid of a lot of stuff, selling it off, trading, and you know, it was always just kind of that. I loved history, so being able to jump back in time and wearing the uniform, going what they went through, you know, it really puts things in perspective, makes me appreciate it a lot more.
Alright, and you mentioned that you did serve in the Armed Forces. What branch and for how long did you serve for?
I was in the U.S. Air Force Hawaii Air National Guard. I was a crew chief on the KC-135 Stratotanker. And for those who don't know, it's the Boeing aircraft that has a large boom in the back so we can refuel mid-flight for extended range for fighters and other aircraft. And we had to make sure every jet was flight mission capable. I worked in the isochrono inspection section, the ISO docs, and what was really cool about that is because aside from doing work on the flight line, we would actually go out and park the jet in a hangar, tear it all down, inspect it, put it all back together within a span of 3 or 4 weeks, and it'd be ready. All the paperwork would be good for it. Just making it cherry.
Alright, so you mentioned memorabilia in your dad's garage. Can we go take a look at it?
Yeah, definitely. Let's go. So, all of these over here, these 3 are all from magazines that my dad kept over the years and framed, just because we're really big Chevy fans. We have it's all faded out, but dyno proven as the Motion Performance. It's another aftermarket package, like Yanko. and they worked a lot of Chevelles, and I think my dad might turn his into a motion Chevelle. But Chevy bow ties everywhere, the Jenkins competition, and my dad actually had a Nova, a 70 Nova back in the day, which looks something like that. And before my brother was born, he was working on a 70 split bumper. I can show you in a minute. It's still here, just the shell, it's all rusted out. But everything Nova and Camaro was really popular with my dad, and he really loved those types of cars. It's a Pantera and a Lamborghini Countach that my parents built when they were first married. My mom would spend hours painstakingly getting the I don't know if you can see it. She'd spend hours with a toothpick and paint trying to get the Goodyear and all the tire markings on.
Yo, that's painted on?
Yeah.
That's fucking sick. Alright guys, and that is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. You may follow Cody on his Instagram maybe?
Yeah.
Okay, it's gonna be right here over his face. Thank you to our sponsors. Oh, well, my sponsor, not Cody's. I mean, if anyone wants to sponsor him with his car, that's by all means. But thank you to my sponsor, the Motor Crush app. It's a location app that lets you share your location with all your friends. So for those of you who like to not leave the house and say they're leaving the house, this app is definitely for you. Like I said in our last video, they emailed me a bunch of times saying, hey, if you guys, or if you get us big, then they're gonna do a giveaway. And the last giveaway was the Nissan R35. That is the latest Nissan with the GTR badge on it. That'd be pretty sick to own. Give me the car, please. And thank you to our second sponsor, wickedlyboosted.com. If you guys need anything from their stores, shirts, they don't do jeans or anything, hoodies, sweaters, stickers, key tags, car tags, banners, anything like that, go ahead and see them. Use the code PKRD10 to get 10% off of anything in their website.
Keeping up with the tradition at my house, I need Justin to redneck rack my trench gun. You were in the United States Marine Corps?
Yes.
It was a Vietnam era Marine Corps helmet.
Oh damn. Hope it fits good.
Look out, Charlie. Hey.